Hey everybody, Dodger here. Welcome back to Formula 1 2019 as we continue season number 2 of our career, our first season with Ferrari. We come off of week number 1, an interesting one out there in Australia. Not a track that I typically circle as one of my strongest ones, so to come home with a 5th place finish after a pretty rough weekend wasn't too bad. We go from Australia over to Bahrain, which is a track that I typically race at pretty well and have some struggles with qualifying. I think this is one of the most difficult tracks on the circuit to get the power down at, which is interesting in that that is what I am struggling the most with adapting to the new car this season. And this new car, although if you look here on the R&D tree, it's at the very top. This is the best car overall in the field. It has an interesting R&D history. They've done a decent amount of work with durability, a lot with powertrain, a lot with chassis, basically nothing with aero. And maybe that is part of the reason I'm having a lot of issues getting the car sorted out of the turns and just overall not feeling very comfortable with it, because it's got the power, it's got the chassis dynamics, it just doesn't have any aero development on it. So hopefully throughout the season, I can continue to work on that and make the thing even better. In practice today in Bahrain, I would say it was a struggle, but I'm confident that we'll have at least a decent qualifying effort.
Bahrain qualifying is nearly upon us, and the drivers look as if they're all geared up to go. I expect we'll be getting underway very shortly.
We're out on track pretty early here in Q1, but this season is presenting an interesting challenge, I believe, because the development has pushed the field so close together. Despite me being in, quote-unquote, the #1 car, there's no free passes like there would be at the beginning of a career, or even in real Formula 1, I feel, where the cars that are quickest are so quick, you'd almost just have to crash in Q1 to not make it through, or have a motor failure or something like that. That's not the case here. I'm having a push in Q1 just as much as I intend to in Q3, just for the sake of making it through, because there is only a half second in between 10th and 20th, and that is a lot of pressure. I've got to be somewhere in those 28s, I believe, and I have been nowhere even in the ballpark of that this weekend so far, so we'll see what happens here. I actually just did a big swing change at it right before I went out and threw a bunch of front downforce on the thing, trying to get rid of some of the mid-turn understeer. It's a 29.0, which is most notably not a 28, but it should be good enough to get us through. But I'm really not super confident in the car right now, or at least I'm not super confident in me in the car. Oh boy, you know, this is exactly what I was talking about. Seb's up there in P4 with a 28.3, which I have not been able to get near. I'm at a 29.0, which has been my best lap yet, and I was only 2 cars above the cut line. Saying this is going to be a pretty interesting Q2 today, but at least we made it there. Alright everybody, here we go. Q2, end of the session pretty much. Definitely my last run. We're currently sitting in P8. Finally got into the 28s in my first run, which is good, but at the moment it looks like we will get dropped out if we don't improve. And what's worrying is that I never felt during my lap any point where there was more than a 10th of improvement that I figured out I could get. Hoping these cars that just came out of the pits get on it and don't get in the way. It's been a solid lap, but just no improvement like I mentioned, and that was possibly a pretty big mistake. Maybe Verstappen will give us a tow here. Right there. There might be a 10th in it. Oh, this isn't Verstappen. That's Giovinazzi. I knew that. We completely got out of the way, but I completely spun the tires out of there, so we're not going to get any improvement in this sector that I needed to. A little bit better exit right there. There's hundredths in it. Washed totally wide there. That's going to erase any advantage we had. This is probably going to be it for us then. These tires lose about half a second a lap. So I don't think there's any hope in a second run, even though we have the energy to do it. I think we'll just have to hope that people don't improve. That would be our only chance. I'm going to stay in it for now, since it wasn't an awful turn one. You never know what might happen. Maybe our car just for some reason comes to life on a second lap. It hasn't felt too bad. I didn't really look at the time. Yeah, it's decent. Well, at this point, we might as well finish this out. A bit worried how the front tires were going to respond there, but they did pretty well. Oh, it almost spun on that curb. A little timid around there from what happened before. Perhaps a little bit of a toe from Butler. Not much of one. That's us across the line. Definitely an improvement. P8. Oh, that saved us. That lap absolutely just saved us from getting knocked out. Whew. This is extremely intense. Just, I can't believe the car picked up on the second lap, but I can't believe that we're supposed to be doing 28 O's. That I don't know where I'm supposed to find that at the moment. Quite mixed emotions as we head into Q3 here. I'm happy to make it to Q3 because it was looking for a moment there like that might not happen. But I know I've set us up for a bad strategy in the race, having to start on more used tires than everybody else. And I also know that the team is expecting us to be within the top 3, and that's just not gonna happen here. So it definitely feels like we're starting off on a bit of a sour note with our Ferrari career, and I don't want to... Oh man, this is it too. That just ruined this lap. I guess taking easy for this lap. It's just so on edge. The car just is not agreeing with me yet. I definitely have a lot of setup work to do to get it feeling a bit better. Alright, now we in theory shouldn't have taken too much out of these tires because I just cruised around for most of the lap. And we certainly did 2 laps in Q2, so let's see what we can do. I don't think I'm going to run the low 28 I need. But I'd like to make something out of this. I can't even speak. My brain is so overwhelmed by all of this. Bit too much curb there. Okay, didn't spin the tires. That's one thing I've struggled with quite a bit, is spinning the tires out of the slow turns, which I'm surprised by, considering how much chassis development this car has. but it probably also just has a lot more power than the Alpha did. That I'm not quite used to just yet. Purple sector 2. That's where the car is working. I think 1 and 3 is where it's not. It was a pretty good exit onto the straightaway. Let's hope we're at least in the 28s. Wow. I didn't think I had it in me, to be honest. I really did not think I had that in me. I don't foresee that sticking anywhere near the top, but I'm pretty elated with that. Whew. I guess second lap is the one for us.
Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's race. Charles Leclerc lines up on pole position, and Lewis Hamilton completes the front row. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Perez, Gasly, Sebastian Vettel, and Raikkonen, Bottas, Red, Verstappen, and Antonio Giovinazzi, Hulkenberg, Ricciardo, Kevin Magnussen, and Butler, Albon, Stroll, Lando Norris, and Roman Grosjean. Kubica and Carlos Sainz will start from the back of the grid, and with lights out,
Now that we've got some points on the board, let's continue this form and aim for another top 10 finish.
Alright, well there you have it. Nothing makes you look a fool like your previous team that you just decided to leave, starting from the pole position, while your team starts P5 and P8. I'm definitely feeling a little bit foolish at the moment. Bahrain is always a very hard race on tires, and currently they are projecting us to do a 2-stopper from the soft to the medium and to the mediums again. Let us look at the personalized, and oops, that's not what I wanted. That's not what I wanted either. It is just saying that we are actually probably going to have a little bit more tire wear than the team would suggest. It seems like they also put some fuel on board for my run, but I don't think I want to underfuel the car, but I don't think I want to start too terribly heavy either, since I am running a lot of aero here. I probably will need some fuel for power. I usually do race pretty well here, so I look forward to the challenge, but we've got a lot of work to do to prove ourselves. A tricky start this is going to be on the right side of the track. See a lot of wheel spin from cars on this side. Let's just try to get ourselves as much to the inside as we can. That'll just kind of turn into us a bit abruptly there, but we weren't quite alongside either. I had a lot of wheel spin getting out of turn 1. Bottas does not want to give this position up. Not the worst start, not the best start. At least we are back behind Seb here, so we know we're at least kind of where the car should be in the field at the moment. Boy, I am still struggling with the brakes of this car. Much more than I feel like I struggled with them last season. Running, honestly, way more conservative brakes than previously. Just part of the learning curve. I think our ability to fight for a championship this season depends on how quickly I can adapt. How many races is it going to take me to feel comfortable with this car? Starting with multiple, like 5th place finishes doesn't take us out of a title hope, but it doesn't set us up for an easy go of it. They're not having an easy go of it ahead of us. That is a Very hard-fought battle. And Seb left the outside door open there, but I just wasn't close enough. He just had to check up big for what's going on ahead of him. Understandably. Those racing points, we've learned, are known for brake lockups. This is quite a tight little gaggle here. Meanwhile, the leaders are running away with this. And we are not making any progress. Lost the nose a bit there. I find that our car...
Okay, some information on Perez. They seem to have an issue.
I wonder if he took a wing off in some of those battles or something. I find that our car doesn't use a lot of battery energy, was what I was going to say.
Race officials have enabled DRS. DRS
Which is
now
nice.
available.
Well, if he's having an issue, it's not hurting his straight line speed, that's for sure. What a checkup that was. Around the outside. Made that one work. That makes me go back to my thought that maybe he's lost a bit of front wing or something. He was perfectly fine down the straightaways, but seemed to really struggle through the turns. Just set us up in a good position. I really like to catch these two ahead of me. God, did you see how the car just never wanted to rotate for me there? I don't really understand why it is so razor edge. Unless it really is just the lack of aero upgrades to the thing.
We're approaching the pit window. You'll be on the mediums.
These pit stops today are going to be pretty fast and furious. Which means these runs are going to be the same, where there's no conservation needed. It's push, push, push the whole stint. Hey, this side-by-side up ahead of us is encouraging to see. Helped us close in a bunch through there. Definitely starting to, feel the tires quite a bit.
Good for the time being, but you are going to start to notice the wear, so make sure it doesn't catch you out.
For a car that's been so hard to get power down, it makes me nervous when the rears start to get a little flaky. And a lot of times it does this push into oversteer thing that's really hard to control. I don't know if I've quite gotten to DRS range yet. Nope. But the battle up there rages on, which is good. So crazy how much the Williams car improved in our career here. From dead last on the field to this season being consistently top 5, that's pretty wild. Car really felt pretty good through there. I'm surprised. I thought it was going to get real messy by this part of the run. Now we should be within DRS range. Vettel finally gets around behind us there.
Okay, clear.
Yellow flag for something. Alright, this puts us in a little bit happier of a position. I do wonder if there's going to be one-stoppers going from soft to hard. We're going to be pitting this lap. Or this upcoming lap.
Okay, window open. Let's box this lap.
Which I wonder is potentially going to be quite a bit earlier than some of these cars, so we might have a bit of an undercut, but it also might put us in traffic quite a bit. It's wild how much different the car just seems to respond in race conditions than qualifying. I don't know. I can't really explain that. Usually I see that happening a lot the other way around. Ferrari was so known for it in the 2019 F1 season. Great qualifying pace and then just falls apart in the race. Just a bit worried about the aero push there. Tucked behind Gasly.
Box, box, box.
Since I'm not going to pass, we'll do full energy conservation. Nobody else is peeling off. Nice pit entry. Alright, let's hope we come out into clear traffic.
Go now.
Looks like a lot of the field is spread out, which is good. There's a pretty gnarly looking pack right at the back, but we should have enough of a gap to be able to run good lap times here.
Okay, stay clear of the white line on the exit. We'll receive a penalty for dangerous driving if you cross over into the track.
I didn't intend to. The AI put me out there. I honestly did not intend to go over the line. Just kind of snapped back into control in a weird place. Now, I don't know if the car is going to be much quicker on these these medium tires than the used softs. I didn't find them to be too great in practice. And they definitely won't be if we end up in traffic. Kind of looking at the delta to see if we're gaining or losing. Looks like we are gaining, so they might be a little bit quicker. At least through some of the sharper apexes, maybe turns like this. You can see it's still a little uncomfortable. I'm uncomfortable with the quickness I'm catching this pack up ahead of us. That's for sure. That's gonna get ugly. 2 seconds. So at least I have some time left in it, but they could be losing 2 seconds a lap easy. Got too much of that. Bit distracted by looking at what's ahead of me. Yeah, you can see we'd definitely be undercutting if not for the traffic. Oh yeah, there's a lot of cars here on hards going for the one-stopper. I can't believe I didn't just pass him there. I had to go for the outside move. It was really effective, but not good for the old lap time. Alright, there goes Ved now. Robert locks the brakes. We just got run into. I think it maybe went 3 wide or something. I'm not sure what just happened there. But we definitely just got slammed into. Yeah, Gasly had to slam on the brakes for the car come out of the pit. And that was it for us. Or whoever that was. Well, this is about the worst possible scenario for us. Yep. This is a nightmare. Sainz not wanting to give this up. We may lose 4 or 5 positions just being trapped behind these cars. We've got to do better at this strategy. We can't be pitting early and stuck behind the field every race. This won't do. Especially when they refuse to let you by. We've lost probably 5 or 6 seconds on our strategy here. Really cosplaying that Ferrari strategy stuff.
It seems they fixed whatever the problem was. They're coming back up to speed.
Yikes! Yikes! Alright, I see a bunch of cars going to hards here. So there's a bunch of strategies at play in this race. To be making this 2-stop work, we need to be getting all out of these tires, but I'm not currently. Oh man! I guess that's the difference in the AI difficulty, huh? Is they will just literally push you off the track now. Oh, you want to pass me? Nah, I'm just gonna turn into you. Jeez. Come on, buddy. A little space is all I want. Yeah, I really don't know where we are in the field, but I know we've lost multiple positions in all of this. What a nightmare. What an absolute nightmare. And now they're just constantly trying to pass us back in DRS. I mean, look how slow he is in the turns. Jesus. I guess Wreckfest for Breakfast is back, huh? I just gotta try and get out of here. My tires haven't got the stick in them that they did when we first went out. Suddenly this race that was, I think, a certainty that we were going to be battling for a podium is, boy, can we get back into the points? I don't know. Pretty unbelievable how wrong that went. I'm at least partially to blame for having to do 2 laps on the qualifying tires. Limited our options in the race. But look at the time pickup out of traffic. Traffic is what really killed us. I mean, I'm just thinking of like this position with Verstappen. I've got to not just pass him. I've got to pass him and clear him by 15 seconds in order to actually get that position. That's wild. Gosh, look at that gaggle of cars behind us that we were stuck in. We're not even quite to halfway, but I feel like a lot of our wheel-to-wheel battling isn't really going to happen. I feel like that's going to happen with pit strategy. This is very much so a hot lapping race for me, which is not what I wanted, because I feel like this is a track where wheel to wheel I have a good car. Hot lapping not so much. Hopefully we can catch this pack of cars ahead of us. That'd put me in a better mood. I need cars to race, not just myself. I would say the biggest challenge for me now is improving qualifying. Qualifying is what's putting us in these positions.
Green flag.
Oh no! Our teammate, Sebastian Vettel, out of the race. Well, that's disappointing and helpful. Wish you could have brought us a safety car. That would have split this race right open for us. Boy, that is going to be rough for our team to recover from. We have not started the season scoring a lot of points. Definitely catching this pack of cars up ahead of me. Just trying to keep my head cool, not overdrive. Just keep chipping away at it. Even when the nose pushes out like that. Mercedes has not shown much speed in the first two races, but they're doing it now.
We're approaching the pit window. You'll be on the mediums.
It's going to get interesting again with that. I think some cars are going to be making their first stops when I'm making my last one. Three wide up ahead of us there. Which is good for on-track position, but because of our strategy, on-track position kind of irrelevant, isn't it? It's more about our position in time. I hope I don't get mired up in these three cars. Be very easy to do. Everybody's on a bit of a different strategy here. All right, Ferrari, what you got? All done. Putting the power down well. Getting the moves done cleanly. I don't think there's a huge gap between tires here, but there definitely is one. Spun the rears quite a bit there. It's areas like this where I can really keep the power down. Really get to the power early there. That's where I can make moves. Whoa! Turned it way too early there. Just rocking over the curb. It'll be fine.
We're gonna box this lap. Push hard on the in lap.
Yeah, there's those guys pitting for their last stop. So many different strategies here. It's pretty wild to think that Verstappen's going to make it to the end of the race on those tires. But they are pretty slow, so I guess I can see that it's possible. His tires are pretty new. My mediums are getting pretty old. And I'm able to walk all over them. Let's make sure we have a little bit of energy left for our out lap. That will be pretty critical. If there was any way to make these mediums last to the end of the race, that would be probably the move, but I just don't think there is a way.
Pit now. Pit now.
And here we go. Let's hope for some clean track. Other cars on pit road. Wait,
Go, go, go.
what tires are you going to? I am so confused. Are they doing soft, hard, medium? Really? That would be strange.
Pit strategy complete.
Let's
See these
watch
tyres
this
through
pit
to the
exit.
end now.
That's what I was worried about! There's just absolutely nothing I can do in that situation. I'm coming out of the pits at a certain speed. It pushes you out there. And if the car is online, they don't realize, I guess they just don't know that you're exiting the pits. So you have no option but to hit them. So now, not only do we have a rough pit strategy, then we needed to get absolutely everything out of the car. Now we have to do it without an end plate on the front wing. This whole race weekend feels like it was engineered to piss me off. Even if I wasn't exiting the pits, I was so far alongside of him for him to take the apex. I don't feel like it would have been my fault either way. I'm not mad. What do you mean? Okay. So here we are, P9. As far as I know, that might be our actual position. I just don't know what pit strategy is left up ahead of us here. You know, if I still had a full car here, I feel like, yeah, I could push back from here, probably get to P6, somewhere like that. But now I'm not so sure. That's where I really feel that lack of front downforce. I'm lucky that I decided to run as much front downforce as I did, or I'd be in real trouble. But I think I'm still going to be in pretty bad trouble by the end of this race. Certainly not closing in on these two at any fast rate. Front of the car is just not working around turns like that anymore. It's only gonna get worse. I think I got a couple cars behind me that are also on the two-stop strategy. And they're probably feeling a little bit more spry. I have to imagine at this point in the race, everybody's done pitting, so we are where we are. Desperately need to get within Albon's DRS. That'll help the front tires. Just like with Australia, I'm still thinking end of the season. I'm still thinking that eventually things have got to turn around a bit. So we need to be fighting for every available point, every single race. So as poorly as this has gone, this could still be one of the most important races I run, as far as how much of a recovery I can make. Having the lift there hurts. So our car has been so good. Funny how the front damage affects the braking as well. Downforce is so important to how these cars get woed up. I don't know who that is in front of Albon, but unfortunately they have scooted away a bit. I was hoping to make that a twofer. We got lots of energy available here. Drove it in too deep. What in the world? Are you seeing this? So we need to clear him on the straightaway here. Not gonna happen. I'm gonna hold him tight as I can. There we go. Luckily he doesn't get the pass back. Alright, can we leave him and can we catch up to Stroll? Who's in the same situation of extended run on hards. I don't feel too confident about it. I didn't shank his DRS range. I think we're okay. This is an incredibly high effort car to drive at the moment. That's how I would describe it. It's a decent gap. That should be enough. 2.8 up the Stroll. I don't know if we're going to get that, especially since we've got to save fuel at some point. All depends on how his tires hold up. I'm running pretty risky lines here.
There's 5 laps of fuel remaining.
So much understeer. Trying to do everything I can to just help open up the turns, keep the car flowing. When car I messed that up. When a car flows smoothly, so does life. Oh, so much understeer there. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've run the fronts off the thing already. I don't think catching Stroll is an option. All over understeer. Losing time, in fact. Thanks, Rick. Appreciated it. Oh, look who's behind me again. Great. Wonderful news. Oh man. Fronts are really giving up. I've got a lot of fuel to save somewhere. Been getting so tight through here that I might as well do it in this sector. That curve. Bring it back up here. Just what I needed. More things to focus on. Absolutely did not need that. Luckily, they're not running me down. I think they've been racing each other so much behind us that nobody's been able to run me down.
There's 3 laps of fuel remaining.
Yeah, it's going to be close. It actually kind of hooked up through there for once. And I paid for it over here because I had speed. That is an intense gaggle for the last point. So little front end grip. And lean, I don't have to lift there at least. We're back in the green. I can't believe we're only gonna manage to get a couple points out of this race. I at least feel, if nothing else, I feel like in the race, in an ideal race condition here, I had the pace to run on the podium today. I really do feel that's the case. And like I said, things have got to turn around, things have got to go our way eventually. They can't always be like this. So I've just got to remain hopeful that that happens, and know that when it does, we're going to be in good shape. And we can start to really fight. Things are just quite a bit different now than they were last season. So much more expected from us. So much more expected from myself. There's still plenty of time for it to come around. Not in this race. This race is pretty much said and done, I think.
There's only one lap of fuel remaining.
Trying to take it easy. We'll bring it home an 8th. 5th and an 8th is certainly not how I wanted to start, but all I can do is think of what could have been if not for, I would say, at least 15 seconds that I lost stuck in traffic that refused to get out of the way. And that's what I've got to focus on, is don't just think about which tire strategy is going to work best for the car. Which tire strategy is going to work best for traffic? What's going to keep me out of being stuck behind a dozen cars for 3 laps? Because that's just a situation we can't have this season. The field is too close. The battles are too tight. We don't have the luxury of just letting somebody go or getting let by a car. Let's not run out of fuel, that would suck. I mean, I know it's tough when there's a Mercedes behind me fighting for the death for a single point in this race. I think that pretty much sums it up. Judging by the crowd, I would say that's been an intense battle back there. I don't have a clue who's winning. Probably Hamilton? Maybe? I don't know. There's so much moving in the field as far as drivers. It's hard to even know who's who or who's where or which team's quick and which isn't. Well, Max had fastest lap, and he wins the race. Okay, so Max Verstappen in the Racing Point wins. That's this season. That's season number 2 of the career. That's just how it's gonna be. I let them close in a lot, but I wasn't worried about it. Whew.
Okay, pick up rubber and bring it home.
That was a hard-fought P7. P7? I thought we were P8. Weren't we P8? I guess we were 7.
For Racing Point, a brilliant performance. The Racing Point team will be very happy with
I think we picked up a position there at the end.
Final result. Another display of excellent driving and excellent teamwork. And a well-deserved first-place finish.
What a podium. Oh, man.
Let's see what
happened
effect this
here?
result has had on the driver's
We were behind
standings.
Stroll.
Max Verstappen's excellent result today sees him take over as leader of the Drivers'
Nobody got a
Championship.
penalty.
After an
I don't know.
incredible day of racing, who was your driver of the day, Ant?
Well, Lance Stroll would be my pick.
Oh.
He managed to keep a cool head today whilst pushing through the field.
It's time to see how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. Racing Points move up to the top of the standings. There was also a strong showing from the McLaren team today.
Oh,
as
what
they
a
make their
mess.
way up the standings. Well, that was certainly an incredible weekend of racing. Be sure to join myself and Ant for more exciting Formula One action soon.
What an absolute mess this constructor standings is right now, but still a lot to sort out there. We slide down to 7th, Seb down to 4th. I guess Hamilton blew up very late there. That's the only thing that I can think that happened. We only ever did a 32.3 to the best lap of the race, a 31.2. A lot of work to be done. That's all I'm gonna say. Man, what even happened at the start of this race? I don't remember. It went by quickly, but that last run felt like it took ages. We got next to Seb at the start, and I really tried to give him room. I remember that now. Struggling to get the power down. It was a decent start. Eyeballs. Look at the damage on the side of my car. There was a ridiculous amount of contact in this race overall. Oh, onto the grass to go 3 wide. This must be after the stop. Oh, they missed me going wide there. I mean, they missed most of the moments. I'd like to at least see this contact with Danny Rick. Yes, pit stops, thank you. Oh, here it is, and you're gonna miss it? No, I'm sorry, he just turned into us. That's inexcusable. I am all of next to him. He's all the way at the left side of the track. And he just, whoop, sorry about your wing, bruh. Inexcusable. Nothing I could have done there, too. I mean, I'm jamming on the brakes out of the pits and doing everything I can. I mean, that really honestly probably only cost me... What happened? What? I think the highlights are broken. Oh no. What is this camera? Yep. All right. Thanks for this. Okay, well, we're just gonna keep zooming in on this. Nope. Can we find the car again at least? Oh, I saw the car for a second. Quality video gaming experience. All right, everybody. Week number 2 in the books here with Ferrari. Thank you all for watching. I will see you next time.